Good evening
Hi, good evening.
and welcome everyone and anyone that decides to come in later. My name is Amy Daly and I am the program coordinator and lead faculty for the Integrative Health Coaching Program here at Salem University. And tonight we are talking with a health coaching alumni, Noelle, and we're going to also talk a little bit about our program, and then we're going to open it up to some Q&A. So if you have any questions, feel free to unmute at the end and ask us. We'd love to answer some questions. So let's just dive right in. And Noelle, if you don't mind just sharing a little bit about yourself, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, sure. As you said, my name is Noelle Shaver, and I not only went through the IHI program, the Integrative Health Coaching courses, I'm also actually a Salem University employee. I have been working in the nursing department for almost 6 years now. Um, I am married. We have two beautiful girls. One is actually in college right now, and the other one is halfway through her fifth grade year. Yeah, I love what I do. And once we started talking about this program, I was really, really interested in seeing, what all this was about.
That's awesome. Thank you. And
Mhm.
that kind of leads me into my biggest question, like what motivated you to join the health coaching program?
Um, so I think a big part of it for me was, as I said, I do work in the nursing department, but I am not actually a nurse. I work more on the, educational academic side of things. And I thought, one thing about me is I've always wanted to help people my whole entire life. I've had jobs in the past where that was, kind of what I did. I worked with youth for almost 10 years. And I just kind of thought, maybe this would be a nice way for me to kind of get my foot in the door in healthcare.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, it is. It's one of these occupations that I feel like can um, be used with any kind of background, and any kind of interest in helping people. And so, it was a gateway, right, for you
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
learning more about health and wellness. So, thinking back into the program, can you recall maybe a moment or an experience from the course that really stood out to you that was really impactful or transformative in some way?
Um, yeah, I think honestly for me personally, anytime anybody had ever mentioned health, I didn't really think of the other aspects of it aside from the physical. Health to me was always about, the physical part of it. And taking this course really opened my eyes to, how much outside influences could affect your overall health. Your mental health, your emotional health, even your social health with your friends and family. And I think by the end of it, I did come to learn about myself that if my mental health wasn't where it needed to be, then the rest of me was also going to be a hot mess. So that was my big takeaway from it.
Oh, I love that. And I love that it touched you personally,
Yeah, it
and that,
absolutely did.
you were able to get something out of it that really was impactful to you.
Yeah.
And I guess that kind of goes, into my next question. How has completing the health coaching course influenced you personally?
Um Again, I think a big part with me, once it really opened my eyes to, the mental and the emotional part of health, um, just really learning how to practice better self-care,
Mm.
learning that it's okay to say no. I am a people pleaser by heart, so it comes very natural to me to just, want to constantly be that person for anybody and everybody who, needs anything. So a big takeaway for me was, just knowing that it's okay to take a step back, take more time for myself. It's okay to say no when you don't have the energy or time, because that was something that I, personally struggled with my entire life.
I mean, I really think it comes naturally for people that are caretakers, moms, you know, and like you said, you're a mom, you work. I think it's really easy for people to push aside their own well-being because we're so busy in life just caring for others and caring for other tasks.
Yeah.
And, you know, once we put the spotlight on, geez, I really need to start looking at my own health and well-being so I can better take care of other people or so that I can fill my own cup. As the old adage is, if I can't help
Yes.
others unless my cup is full, right?
Yes. Yeah. And I will say, um, it has also opened my eyes to my own personal physical health as well. Now I've kind of started my own plan to
Mm.
improve my own physical health, and I really honestly don't think I would have done that had it not been for this class. So I thank you for that.
Oh, well, you're welcome. It's not me. It is definitely, I think that the material, right? And just the concept of really focusing on health and wellness and I think what I really loved about coaching in general is that and there's this misconception I think with coaching is that we're telling people what to do, right? That we come up with these grand plans of fitness or grand plans for nutrition and we're like, okay, you must abide by these things, but in reality it's the client's in the driver's seat, you're in the driver's seat for your own health, and we want to really empower people to take control of their own health. And
Yeah,
the easiest way to do that is taking small steps and building on those steps until they become habits because trying to do too much too too often it's overwhelming. And kudos to you. I mean, I think I'm excited for you. Good for you.
thank you.
Yeah. So that's awesome that it's influenced you personally. How about professionally? Any influence on you professionally?
Absolutely. I mean, not only did I go through this program, but after successfully completing it, um, I found the confidence within myself. And now I'm getting ready to actually enroll in a bachelor's program. So it definitely inspired me to go back to school. It definitely gave me the confidence to know that, even as a almost 43-year-old woman, that I was capable of doing this and that I could do this. Um, Not only that, but I also have taken on clients now. So I've been able to work with, a specific group of our nursing students and, pass some of that knowledge on to them as well.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. So cool. Now, are there any skills or any specific knowledge that you found particularly helpful?
Yeah, definitely. And again, typically, in some of my other work, when you're talking to people and you're asking questions, it's kind of uh, you know, closed ended, yes, no response type things, to where the open ended inquiry, that's phenomenal. I mean, you can invoke so much from a person, you know, based on the way that you ask the question. And it definitely evolves the conversation and could potentially, lead the client or yourself to a realization that, you may not have come to just by asking, a simple yes or no question. Um, the other thing I think that really helped me a lot were the reflective statements, simple and double sided, because again, if you have somebody saying something to you that, you're hearing is somewhat contradictory, and you're repeating that back to them, you can kind of sometimes see the light bulb go off, like, oh, is that really what I said? Did I really say that? Well, yes, you did say that. And they kind of see how it sounds coming from somebody else, which also leads to furthering the conversation, working out a plan. So I think those are two of the key skills that I took away from the course that really helped me in my sessions that I'm currently doing.
Oh, that's awesome. And so you are using your coaching skills now, right? Because
Absolutely,
that was
absolutely.
my next question was, how are you using your coaching skills? So, are they pretty receptive about, you know, um,
Yes.
coaching?
Yeah, and I feel like again, our sessions are confidential. We are, protected by HIPAA and we have to abide by those laws. But given the group of students that I coach, they're all right now a very close-knit group of students. So I feel like word of mouth has kind of spread amongst that group. Um, so I honestly only started out with one person. I had worked with this one person, I think maybe 3 or 4 times, and the next thing I know, somebody else is coming into my office and saying, well, so and so told me to come and talk to you because they've been talking to you, and so that snowballed and that snowballed, and I think I'm working with, I think, 7 different people now.
Oh my God.
I'm almost to, I think, my 20th session. Um, I would love to do more. Obviously, I am wanting to sit for the certification exam. And I know that we have to have the 50 sessions in order to do that. Um, it is a little difficult right now just because, I do have the full-time day job. I do have
Hmm.
a kid in school. Um, but eventually, I'm hoping that I can maybe take some more time and put it towards coaching. Maybe even if I have to do it, in the evenings. Um, but that's my ultimate goal, is to get these sessions done and sit for the certification exam.
Oh, that's wonderful. So, and just on a personal level, or maybe professional, but what areas of health and wellness are you currently exploring or hoping to learn more about?
I would love to explore more on nutrition, because that kind of seems to be a big thing amongst health coaches. There's a lot of coaches that do weight loss and things like that. So I would love to explore that side of things. Again, with my current position, working in the nursing department, and some of the things that I've been working with on the students now, um, test anxiety, test taking strategies. So
Mhm.
I would love to explore that side of things. And also, which this kind of surprises me because, clear back when I first graduated high school and went off to college, um, I was a psych major. I always saw myself in mental health. But now that I'm in my 40s, that has kind of completely changed for me. I would love to maybe dive into some like ADHD stuff, or even helping people with chronic pain management. And potentially, if there are certifications available out there for those types of things, I would love to do those. I would love to get certified in some of those areas, on top of just having the IHC certification.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, I know NBHWC has a plethora of different continuing education courses in all those different areas, which is great. And it's not just through them, but different establishments have them. Um, yeah, that's one great thing. I think one of the growing areas in coaching is all these little niches, right? Everybody's kind of finding whatever their passion is
Yeah.
and really going for it. And I love that there are so many opportunities to get more education in those areas so they can really be more supportive with their clients and kind of gain those clients that they're really seeking to work with. So yeah, those are
Yeah.
great. And I just wrote them down just in case, I run into something where I can uh, help you out with that. So
Perfect.
yeah. Now, looking back at your time in the health coaching courses, if you could give one piece of advice to future students, what would it be?
Um, Honestly, I think it would be that not everybody is coachable.
Mm.
Um, you're gonna get those clients that want you to solve the problem for them, and that is not what we do. We're not there to solve a problem. We're there to help facilitate, to brainstorm, to get you out of your comfort zone. Um, and again, a lot of the times, if you're telling somebody what to do, they're not going to do it because it's not their idea. They didn't have that thought. They feel like they're being forced
Right.
to, maybe take your advice. So yeah, I think that's the one piece I would say is that, and it's okay. It's okay that, you might get somebody that's, they have to be willing to put the work in. And if they're not, then I think that's the time when you may have to look at them and say, you know what, I just don't think that you're ready yet. And I think that we're going to have to, end our sessions. Because that's absolutely what you don't want to do. You don't want to fix the problem for them. You don't want to tell them what to do.
Yeah.
So I think that, and I think that was a big one for me too. Again, because I am a people pleaser, so that was something that I had to get comfortable with myself. Like I can't fix everything for everybody. I am willing to put in my 50%, but you also have to be willing to put in your 50%. So, not everybody is coachable. Not everybody will buy into this type of service.
That's
So you just have to kind of cut your losses and move on.
Yeah. No, I think that's great advice. This kind of came to me as you were talking, but thinking about the course and, there's a lot going on within the course, right? It's 16 weeks, so we
Yeah.
do put a lot of material in that 16 weeks. I- just and I know this is just your own personal assessment, but how many hours do you think per week outside of our live classes did you take to, the reading, the videos, studying, just kind of on average? I know at
Um,
first, I remember the first couple weeks you were like, "Oh my god."
yes, but the first couple weeks, and again, I think it was because I had been out of school for so
Sure.
long.
Yeah.
Back in 1999 when I first started college, we didn't have any of this online stuff. So I think I was a bit overwhelmed at first,
Yeah.
and it kind of didn't click until maybe the second week that, I had all these, the videos and the reading assignments and then your discussion posts. Um, and I was trying to get through it all in like 2 days
Yeah.
because I wasn't thinking, no, you have the entire week to do this. And then of course, like you said, we've got, kids and husbands and full-time
Of course.
jobs.
Right.
So, but once that finally clicked for me after the first week, um, it really probably was only a couple of hours a week.
Okay.
And I would designate, certain days and certain times, and I would tell, whoever was in my house at the time, like, this is what I'm going to be doing from, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. And then I would use that time to either watch the videos that were posted. Um, I did do a lot of the readings because again, I'm a more hands-on person,
Yeah.
but listening to somebody lecture, because again, I had been out for so long, I felt like I needed that extra material. So I did do a lot of the readings, I did watch all of the videos. And they were, some of them were really, really helpful. There's one in particular, I think her name was Brene Brown.
Yeah.
I loved her and I loved that video. There were a couple that you had posted on, um, some of the research that had been done. Those were all fascinating to me. I mean, I actually enjoyed,
Oh, good.
absorbing that stuff, and I did, take a lot from that. But yeah, and all it to me personally, it was not very time consuming. Like I said, if I could just devote a couple of hours a week to
Yeah.
sit down and do, and like I said, I kind of had a schedule mapped out so that, I wouldn't get behind. Um, and I was even able to take a vacation, while we were in class.
Good.
I went to the beach, and I think I did lectures sitting in my brother's backyard. So yeah, just and it's definitely doable
Okay.
for, working moms, people with full-time jobs that kind of want to do this as a side gig. Um, yeah, just plan it out. It's definitely doable.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And I know, because I know it can be scary if you haven't been in school for a really long time to jump into something new.
Yeah.
Um, all right, going the other way, and my last question for you before I dive into kind of the program details, but what do you find most rewarding about coaching?
Um, just the simple fact that you may be making a difference in the life of somebody else. That to me is everything. People want to leave their mark on this earth. People want to leave an imprint. And for me, this is this is what it is. This is what I want to do. And this is how I plan on making my mark and leaving, you know, um just yeah, I mean, knowing that even if it's just one person, even
Yeah,
if I only affect one person, that's all I could ever ask for.
I love that. Did you ever think that this is what you'd be doing or that this is what you'd be striving for is coaching?
No, no,
I know.
no, never in a million years. I mean, and I'm going to be totally honest, when, this whole thing came about, and actually before, the courses were even, people were just
Mm,
talking about, the program, and I really I was like, what is that? Like, it was kind of confusing. It was all new. I
sure.
had never heard of it before. I was a little skeptical at first.
Yeah.
And then I actually got the opportunity, and I kind of did some of my own research and my own reading. And then I thought, you know what? Like, I really think that I could do this. So I decided to sign up, and I'm so glad that I did, because it's definitely changed my life, and now I'm looking to pay that forward and hopefully change somebody else's
That's magical. Thank
life.
you so, so much. Do you mind
Yeah.
sticking around while I go through the program details? Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share. I don't have much of a PowerPoint, but just enough here. So, great. Yes, so I just wanted everyone to know that classes do begin on January 2nd. And if you are interested in signing up for our integrative health coaching class, you are more than welcome to reach us at ihi@salemu.edu, or you can email me personally at amy.daly@salemu.edu, or you can go to the Salem University webpage and you'll find us there under the Integrative Health Institute. And I'm not going to go through all of this, but I just wanted to give you some curriculum highlights, because sometimes, people are like, what kind of classes are health coaching? What's part of health coaching? And so here are some of the highlights, and it's really um, understanding our role and scope as health coaches, building trust and rapport with our clients, things like understanding what behavior change and theories behind behavior change and motivation, building self-efficacy or self-belief within our clients, things like mindfulness and meditation, conducting coaching sessions from the very beginning all the way to the very end. And there is an end to coaching sessions, demonstrating things like active listening and really understanding health and wellness in a holistic viewpoint, from the social support, as Noelle had mentioned earlier, to things like nutrition, weight management, fitness, stress, sleep disorders, smoking cessation, chronic disease. We touch on much, much more, but I wanted to be able to at least share at least a snapshot of our curriculum. And then this is an overview of our program. We believe that not only is it very convenient, but it is very affordable. The cost is all inclusive. It's $3,300, and this includes the ebooks. Our courses are taught on Blackboard through Salem University. It's actually 2 courses, 8 weeks for each course. So it's a 16-week program altogether. We are NBHWC approved. It's all online. So we have asynchronous learning objectives, and that's things like we have a discussion board weekly. There are video demonstrations. There's some online reading that you'll be doing. We have quizzes weekly. There are 2 comprehensive final exams, 1 for each course. One thing I can tell you, if you haven't been back into the classroom, these are really nothing to worry about. I mean, our philosophy here is that we want you to learn and understand the concepts. So these aren't timed quizzes. You have opportunities to take them multiple times as well, even if that means going, out of them and being able to look up the material, because again, this is all about your learning experience. So it's just to augment your learning. There are 3 hours a week of live lectures. So we do that in 2 nights a week. Right now, it's Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 to 8:30 Eastern time. So 2 90-minute sessions. And then we have one-on-one coaching as well. So what happens is in the first 8 weeks, you have 1 recorded coaching session, and then you get 1 faculty feedback on your recorded session. And these recorded sessions, they're about 20 minutes long. And then in the second 8 weeks, you're required to do 3 recorded coaching sessions. And then you get feedback from faculty as well for each one of those. And really, this is your way of building your coaching skills and getting feedback from people that have been in the coaching field. So if you are interested, again, please reach out to us. We'd love to have you as part of our program. And thank you very, very much, Noelle, for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your experiences. It's been
You're
great.
very welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And happy holidays.
You too. I
All
like
right.
your name back there.
I thought that was quite appropriate.
Definitely.
Wonderful. All right. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.